Dear colleagues, welcome back again. Now we are going to carry on to learn about literal and variable today in this video. First of all, I would like to talk about literal. So what is this? Literal is the thing that you store in memory is going to be constant, which is not going to be able to change. For example, number 5. Number 5 can be number 5 only, nothing else. Or as you see, I'm just putting one letter. If I put one letter, I'm using single quote. So this single quote A. So in other words, this A can be capital A, nothing else. Or let's say small case a. So this small case a is small case a, nothing else. It cannot change to something else. Or you can put a string, for example, my name, Edip. Or for example, a lecture name which is mathematics, for example. As you see, I used like a double quote. So what is this? Is a word, is a string. So this string, this mathematic means mathematics, nothing else. It cannot change. All those things generally are called like 5, like 123, like 456, like a text, like a letter, for example, or value which is true or false, or 34.89. They are all called as literal. Okay, so it's like short definition is this. Actually, I didn't define, but I just gave you examples to understand. These are called literal. Okay, second issue is variable. What is variable? Variable is consisting of some information, some literal in it, but this information, this data can be anything related to its data type. Data type is going to come after variable, I will tell you. So now for example, let's say in mathematics we say x plus y is equal to 10. So it's like simple mathematics. So here x and y can be anything. Anything means any number. For example, x is equal to, let's say, 4. When I say x is equal to, simply we can calculate in mathematics. This x becomes here, this x becomes 4. Then result is going to be 4 plus y. So then simply, as you see, y is a variable. This y will be simply 6. So y is equal to 6. Now I'm changing this variable. This x can be 4. I said it can be any number. For example, I make it 7. Then what happens if x is 7? Then this will be 7 plus y is equal to 10. Then this y will be 3. As you see, y and x are getting different values. That's why this x and this y are called variable. So that they can be variable. Like this, in computer literacy, in computer, we are using variables to represent our information. We are using variables. So for the variable, as we use in mathematics x and y, we can use x, y. In other words, more than one letter. For example, x plus y is equal to 10. Then if x is equal to 5, then y is equal to also 5. If x is equal to 4, this will be 6. If it is 7, this will be 3. So as you see here, so these are the values that we are using for x, 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 y, y, y. So what are they? These are called variable. So like this, you can use any letters or letter, the combination of letter and number as a variable name. That's why there are some rules for the variable names. Rules for the variable names. Number 1. Each variable, I don't need to write, I'm going to say number 1. Each variable is going to start with a letter. In other words, for example, we have a variable which is number. Let me delete this part. Number. So it can be a variable. Another name of the variable, here is another example, number 1. So this is also possible. So what was our rule? The first letter should be a letter. Then what I understand, number is okay, number 1 is also okay. For example, let's see, N1 number. So what was the rule? The first letter will be a letter. So then second letter is a number, doesn't matter. So it can be a variable name as well. What about this? 1 number. What was the rule? The rule was the first letter should be a letter. Is it a letter? Unfortunately not. So that's why we say this 1 number cannot be a variable name. Okay, so first letter should be a letter. This is the first rule of the variable names. The second rule, depending on your processor, of course, because some time ago it was 256, but today I have tried, you can use a number, a number of character for the variable. The second rule can be maximum. Do you remember the like two these numbers, 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2? Okay, do you remember those numbers? What were they? 2 to power 0, 2 to power 1, 2 to power 2, 2 to power 3, 2 to power 4. Like this I am writing quickly, maybe you can remember. Okay, so what am I saying now? The maximum number of the character for the variable can be maximum this. Which one? 112. Actually not exactly 112. So like this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So like this, how many character you can put as a name of the variable? 100 and not 12 minus 1, which is, sorry, not 100, 500, 511. This is the maximum number of character. Is it important? Are we going to use this kind of variable name? No, but just as an information I gave you, it can be maximum 511 character in a variable. Okay, so the name of the variable can be maximum 511 character. The next rule, as I said, it should start with the letter. It should contain, it can contain any number, doesn't matter, any digit, doesn't matter. It cannot start with the numbers. It can contain more than one number, or you see, it's not a problem. Okay, now the other information, another rule. The variable name cannot consist of spacebar. For example, name and surname. So as you see here, this cannot be a variable. Another example, number 1 and number 2. This cannot be a variable name. So it cannot be a variable name. Alone here, that number 1 is okay. Alone here, this number 2 is okay, but together here is not okay. For example, here name space and space surname. So this cannot be one variable name. There mustn't be any space between letters or numbers in a variable name. So this is okay. Name and surname, one variable. Number 1, number 2 is another variable. For example, number of student is a variable. Number of student. Is it okay? No, because there is a space here. There mustn't be any space, so number of students is okay. But as you see, it's not easy to read. So this time I can just talk about notations. There are mainly two kind of notations. The first one is Pascal notation. The second one is camel notation. So what are they? The first one is Pascal notation. Pascal notation says name and surname. So as you see, you cannot put any space between them, but you can make the first letter capital, the rest in the word is small case. First letter is capital, the rest in the word is small case. First letter capital and the rest is small case letter. So it is called Pascal notation. When it comes to camel notation, the very first letter is going to be small case, the rest the first letter of the words are going to be capital letters. So as you see, number of students, it is camel notation. Okay, so this is called Pascal notation. This is called Pascal notation. This is called camel notation. So just to separate words in a variable. So you see, it's very easy to read. Number of students, name and surname. Okay. So we are going to talk about C# in our course. That's why this Pascal or camel notation, which one is used, is not so important. Only it's important to discuss with the other software developers, with the other program developers. For example, if you use name and surname like this with the Pascal notation, then it means you are using like method name. Method names are going to use Pascal notation, or class name is going to use Pascal notation. What about this number of students? It is for the variable name, for the property name, for example, can be camel notation. Generally the Pascal notation or camel notation, you use any one of them. From here I can just jump to another rule in C#. For actually most of the C based programming, C++, standard C or C#, another rule is variables are case sensitive. What is that? For example, when you say sum or sum, they are not the same, because this one is with small case letters, this one is the first letter is capital, the rest is small case. For example, sum, this is also different, but this one is same as this. These two are sum. So another rule, as I mentioned, it is case sensitive. Capital letters and the small k letters are important. Which one you are using in your variable that you must use during the program. Okay, the next one is special characters. Like spacebar is also special character, I can say. Like spacebar, for example, question mark, comma, full stop, semicolon, colon, single quote, double quote, parenthesis, the other special parenthesis, open parenthesis, plus sign, equal sign. You see there are lots of different special characters. These are all special characters. For example, here I can add especially this one, minus sign or store. Okay, these are special characters, and those special characters cannot be used in variable. For example, name plus surname. This cannot be variable name. Sorry. Why? Here it is. There is a plus sign here. Instead of this plus sign, you can use spacebar. No, as I mentioned now, its spacebar is also special character, so you cannot use it. Can I use it minus sign, name, surname? No, you cannot, because it's also special character. Can I put name dot surname? No, because this is also special character. For the name of variables, you cannot use any special character except one of them. Which one of them? There is one special character, which is underscore. Okay, which is underscore. This is different than this. This is minus sign, this is underscore. Now you can use like this one. It is okay. Name underscore surname. So underscore behaves as a character, as a letter. So then what I mean, if I say this, what I can say is, at the beginning I told you, what was the first rule? All variables can start with a letter. What did I say now? Underscore is look like a letter. That's why we can start underscore name. You see, it's not a special character. Underscore look like a letter, so start with the letter, so it is accepted. So this variable name is also accepted. Okay, these are the main rules for the variable names. It is important. So after this part, I'm going to start to talk about, give you some examples, and let us, after I write the names, you can just easily check are they okay or not. Okay, quickly. So these are the some variable names. So these are positive. What does it mean? They are accepted. It is possible to write such variable names. What about this one? Number. Or what about num space bir? Or what about num plus bir? Or what about num underscore bir? Sorry, normal score bir. So what are they? These are not accepted. So we cannot have such variables, because first letter is not first letter is not a letter. There is a space bar, there is a special character, there is another special character. They are not accepted. Okay, and the other one, num underscore bir. Is it okay? Yes, doesn't matter capital or small case letters. At the end of the it's a letter, and this one it doesn't matter because it looks like a letter. No problem. What about this number? It is okay because it's starting with the underscore, and then it's also a letter. So this one as a variable is also accepted. Okay. So these are the variable names, variable names, how to use. Just after this video, I'm going to start with the data types. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon.